Against Cambodia, this is ISF. How are you guys doing?
All right, we brought that feeling into our match against TNC.
Okay.
So there was definitely something bothering them in their matchup yesterday.
Those are some really long words.
Long and short of it, Joseph. Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about it on broadcast. Again, we were hoping that they could go ahead and shake that off.
Yeah,
you know,
apparently not.
Apparently not. And hopefully now today they have done that and they can kind of recuperate here. Now, going back to the bans for the second phase, the Kagura was taken out. You have the Selena 2, which is one of those top picks that is given over to a few. Now, I'm wondering if this is going to bring up some more mid lane bans. What do you contest here?
Well, for Falcons, they actually don't need to lean in towards the mid laners that will struggle up against the lineup that Omega's showing. They can double down the idea that, okay, maybe we'd want to play for a little bit more mid to the late game. Although with the Basha there, Kimmy would actually be a perfect pairing for Ogwen and Few. That allows them to be able to bully at the center of the map, but also have a way to supplement your farm. It's not just hyper-dependent on the Moskov. So this Farsa ban by Omega actually is quite concerning to me because we already mentioned your 3 picks. Yes, you're thinking about what the Farsa can do in the Harith and the team fights, but you have a Lapu-Lapu and Hayabusa with you, man.
Here's the thing. I feel like Coach Snap and Coach Lembot are limit testing the idol ng mga kids. They want to see, hey, Few, how deep does your hero pool go? Because they're taking it all the way. And they're going to get a pick on Red 4. So I think that'll go beyond just banning. Even this pick will strain Few's hero pool.
Yeah, and this pick could even be the Kimmy for the side of Omega. It's going to end up becoming a very greedy lineup when you have the Harith and Hayabusa with you. And the Kimmy staring down the Basha at the center of the map might not be the best choice. But if they really want to take away options from Few and tell Few, all right, get creative, then you're going to pick up something maybe like the Kimmy. Eve has also been a rising pick, especially with a very specific build of Enchanted Talisman, Brute Force. That's very cool down rush, and it's great to see.
So what's left? Kimmy, Eve, Lilia, Vixana. Aurora. We've also seen Aurora on the rise, especially in other professional level games of MLBB esports. They're not showing it.
Yeah, and they continue the idea of pressuring Few. Now they pick up the show even more. Even if they didn't ban the Farsa, whatever mid lane pick now is going to be a struggle for Few. I think they're going to have to go on the offensive here. Something can go Purify. I still want to see them just go for the Basha right away. Sorry, not the Basha, the Kimmy. Right away in their mid. And then their jungle. Looking what Omega has. Don't have the Lancelot. YSS Kimmy is way too farm heavy with the Moskov. YSS is banned.
Lance is out.
You don't think they'd flex the Baksha?
Joy?
Joy, I think, is their last option. Yeah.
Little magic damage.
Okay, so they do flex it. They get the Valentina, so they go for Baksha in the jungle.
That's what I was
Roam down. Now, this puts so much pressure onto the Moskov. I thought they already had a good lineup that wouldn't be so dependent on one hero to pop off, considering you have 3 potential quick scaling snowball heroes on the side of Omega. It's like Falcons low-key conceded the early game, and they're going to be turtling out with macro, split push, and farming up for Super Marco, which is too much.
It's tough, man. I mean, every time I see the Valentina, sometimes it's like, I get the concept, but so far, statistically, it hasn't worked too well. But Loyi gets picking up, too, for the last pick for Smart Omega.
You know what? Something tells me Smart Omega just went for this plan to bear down on Few. And then because of the switch, because of the flex on the Baksha, they said, you know what, let's just follow through anyways and surprise whoever they can find, these softies, which again, there's still 2 of. Smart Omega, I'm liking their draft better than Falcons, who seems to have switched their priorities mid-draft.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that boat too. If Falcons aren't careful here, what they're used to doing against other teams, playing around the low Yi, is what's going to happen to them. It has changed a little bit. Low Yis are a little bit more specific, but if you look at the lineup rating and the numbers, it just really leans towards the side of Omega, considering that they do have a significant amount of crowd control and looking solely at the damage that can balloon fast on the side of Omega. Falcons, if they're not careful, they lose this in the first 3 minutes.
Well, that's right from the Falcons guy himself. So let us know in the chat what you guys think is more likely to win Game 1 here in this best of 3. It's Family Sunday. It's Smart Omega versus Team Falcons. Both teams looking for that win to finish off Week 2 in the MPL Philippines Season 16. And we have to go ahead and pay attention to this early rotation because that's where a lot of it starts for a lot of these teams, you know? And it's so cool seeing both those skins, by the way, between the Badang and the Cho. But here's the thing. I think with this, again, Valentina is in a peculiar position where you really have to be able to utilize whatever ultimates you decide to take here.
Starting to see what rotations they're going for.
Flicker already.
And Basha and Hayabusa. Okay, Katizi is going to be able to get the Litho. They do have the info on the where Katizi is on the map, while Ryzen's a little bit more mysterious for the side of Falcons of where he is on the map. So I think we're just going to be waiting for the first hero to show up. I want to see someone build for an advantage right away through the EXP lane, get either Flap or James low for either side. That's going to be a good early condition to check if they want good success early on.
I like that you mentioned the EXP lane because what seemed to work for Omega, especially C16, is when they go with James. And with Falcons clearly saying, yeah, we're going to hedge on the late game, this is all the more incentive for James to just keep pushing the pace.
What was that saying we had?
Go with James.
Go with James. Needs to be on a t-shirt at this point, but yeah, that's true. And also, Lapu Lapu is just right now really good in the XP lane tier list. You know, there's something about this hero that he's just able to do so much damage, but also tank up so much damage, and even pull off a couple finesse moves if he wants to. So it's one of those games where it just kind of brings it into the first objective, the first turtle.
Yeah, good push and pull between the two in the EXP lane, while Q and Super Yoshi are just going to be jockeying for position in that center shrub. Ogwin gets there, but Super Yoshi reads it. So good little mini dance that we're seeing right now between the two teams in terms of getting better positioning. Look at Flap, though. This could be the X factor for Falcons.
There we go. Oh, final slash.
Coming in, first blood drawn on to James. He wasn't ready for that. Now James pushing out of the fight. And there we go, Flap TZ about to get punished. All this while, Kyle TZ secures the turtle. Great work by Falcons using muscle.
Yeah, Flap TZ found the perfect position, and then they were able to make the most out of the final slash. And we saw, again, a lot of highlights here in the little dance and who gets to hold the right shrub at the center. Because Super Yoshi decided to go out of it and stop holding it, it meant that Ogwin will be able to find a better spot, and Few will be able to find a better spot as well. Good little trade as well between the Moskov and the Harris.
I'm here for it. Let that 1v1 keep going, because look, neither of them wants to give up the lane. They're all staying.
Yeah, that's what we've been seeing a lot with our gold laners. You know, these early kind of 1v1s, because for the longest time they know that, all right, eventually, especially towards the mid game, then that's when our time to shine, so we might as well duke it out in the lane. But it's funny because earlier I was saying that, you know, the Lapu Lapu is so good in the hands of James. Well, then Few goes and takes the bravest fighter, makes it work. This little diversion up top, though. Are they looking to make a play here on Flap?
Yeah, let's see if Flap senses it. He's holding to the furthest shrub, so he does feel it.
Oh, in comes Super Yoshi. He finds the kick. They throw everything but the kitchen sink. Ryzen does hold back the shadow kill. Now Omega looking to rotate to mid.
Stay back as much as you can, but if it's a Jeet Kune Do flicker committed by Cho and you get hit, there's no escape.
Yeah, how do you... is there even a counterplay to that? Or do you just kind of accept your fate? You know, and I guess maybe if you had the flicker, that might have been the only thing.
Or a Purify.
Or Purify.
Purify.
But the counterplay of Falcons came through a little bit of macro. They were able to whittle down the shields at the center turret and get gold for themselves.
Kyle looking for a fight. Yoshi pushing him back. That's Badang on Ogwin catching Yoshi. And that's a free pickoff for the Falcons.
Man, Ogwin getting the 2-0 already this early on in the Badang. And what does he have? I mean, he did quite a bit of damage there, too. He just... Wow, that's just built in to the Badang.
He just has concussive blast. He has his fist. That's all you need is a Rome Badang. That's why he's one of the top picks. But I like that Ogwin is stepping up significantly here. His timings alongside Few and Kyle TZ specifically were off yesterday.
Yeah.
Now that they're much better today, you see how well it's going for Falcons. Because we said if Falcons aren't careful, if someone slips early on, Omega can run away with it. But Falcons have held tight. Yes, they've suffered one loss through Flap TZ, but they are very quick about their movements and finding trades across the map.
How good did this work? that we've seen few basically hold on to the Lapu Lapu ult. Is that the right choice the majority of times?
Yoshi gets another kick, and they throw out the shadow kill on Ogwin. Down he goes, a stolen. Bravest Fighter, Joseph, we're going to get the answer to your question. Top Force dropped in by Netsky. Taken down, Few, traded out for Haji. Now Flapteezy about to get punished here. Omega ain't done with you. Double kill for James.
Well, the difficult thing about that is if you are under the ultimate of the Harith, it's really going to be difficult to fight into that. The Spirit of Destruction didn't really connect their first Super Marco, and right now I think that was a quick heat check for Falcons, and we realized what we mentioned about the lineup of Omega. Even though if they're not 100% winning the objectives, 100% winning the fights, they just have so much damage across the board early on that Falcons needs to be careful. They slip up once, and now they're starting to lose control in the map.
All of that too is going to get them that tier 1 in the bottom, so that would be the first turret. Smart Omega, they also get themselves a little bit of a lead to work with at this point, so you'll see Netsky go ahead and transition to a different side. But yeah, it's one of the things that if Team Falcon decides to go ahead and start a play, hold on.
Final slash, not deter Omega from coming in. Yoshi with the flicker gets the kick, and still Ogwin pops his ult, and they're stopped by the Puissance. Teasy breaking the formations. In come Few, pressuring Netsky, and underneath tier 1 up top, Falcons collapse onto Omega. Flap comes in, taking down James. They're not done. Haji gets hit with the final slash, taking him out. Few gets another.
And now the slip up by Omega. It seems like that little knockback from Ogwin was more than enough actually to throw them off their game. Once they saw that Baksha, that little bit of slow that was still on them, the little breaking of their flow meant that they just had to run away slowly from the Tortoise's Puissance, which meant it was time for Few to get into a better angle, Marco to get into a better angle. Great knockback by Ogwin.
Man, so far just a back and forth right now at this point, but they're 3 for 3 in the Turtles for Team Falcons now, and they've gotten some more control. So even it out, even in terms of the space to work with as they got the tier 1s down.
You know what? Omega shan't pull that off once more because it was dangerous what they were doing. A diversion right in Falcon's face?
Yeah.
Falcons are going to punish you hard. Sure, they've been losing. Sure, they've been struggling the past week, but they're still one of the top of Mpl-Ph. You can't do that.
Yeah, definitely off of that too. And you can see Super Marco's got himself nearly to that third item. He's got the Crystal Scythe and Golden Staff already here. So now things are falling into place for them.
Yeah, good build as well for Teasy. He needs that in armor and was already able to build it. He will probably transition into a full build anti-cuirass after he initially built the Dreadnought, because you are able to temper the physical skill damage being dished out by Omega, but Teasy did need more magic defense, similar to Flapteezy, who did go for the Oracle now.
James coming in. Bravest Fighter does not catch Teasy. He's able to roll out. Super Yoshi looking for the kick. And Omega with the diversion. Spots him right in the bush, but Falcons welcome him just as quickly. And now Haji very low. SOD, no one home. Marco threw it out early on in the fight. Omega scramble and retreat.
Oh, they're gonna retreat here too. I almost thought they would still put pressure there just because they had Flap there with the final slash. They'll just gain control. They want this tier 1 turret in the mid too before that Lord does come up. So right now, Team Falcons looking to just play that macro game.
Yeah, I think they would have continued that pressure if that SOD hit and Super Marco was in a significantly better spot to maybe stun someone with knockback, Spear of Misery, but no, he wasn't able to hit it, and that meant Falcons just needed to see if they could have one more effort to try and catch someone off. They didn't, and so they decided to back off. Again, as we mentioned already, 2 core items locked in for the 2 gold laners. Counter-Strike War Axe for this Hayabusa, but considering how Falcons were able to take control of the Turtles, all the Turtles in the game so far, the Hayabusa damage might not be completely there yet against the major frontliners of Falcons.
Here we go, a diversion, but Falcons answer back. Ogwin and Kai are so in connection. Down goes Haji. Super Yoshi might be next. Flickers back out, and drive-by murder by Falcons.
That was perfectly timed. It was almost like they knew exactly where it was going, and just stopped the plan of Smart Omega.
And now Kyle Teasy's not done. Oh, he does try to commit Grand Theft Orange, but that forces Ryzen to hit the red tree. They go straight for the Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't
Ryzen
use
still
the
has it.
retribution.
Ryzen can still do it.
Oh, they're going to
Can
fight
he?
for this.
Sneaky D. What are you thinking? Oh, he gets caught out, and there's a shadow kill. James steals it. Down goes Nesky finds the window. Kyle Teasy falls as well, but James finally goes down. Nesky gets a double. Down goes Ogwin. There are bodies littered across the river. Omega, how did they do that? They
Ryzen-
won the trade and the Lord. Ryzen still coming in. Shadow out.
Way too early, it looks like by Falcons, 16-14. Yeah, there's a significant time difference between Kyle Teasy and Ryzen. It seems like the retribution of the Baksha did come in way too early, which meant there was roughly 300 to 500 because Falcons were waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
They were waiting for the cooldown of the retribution of Kyle Teasy to get taken out. That's why they had to slow it down. They got the vision. Kyle Teasy seems like he was waiting for the timing to hit the red shoe, but just hit it an ounce too early. Fortunately, we didn't see it anymore in the replay when exactly he hit it, but it was James who got it.
It seemed like it was mid-shadow kill.
Yeah. Just follow James, though, on that one.
Go with James.
Go with James. Gets themselves the Lord now. So Smart Omega, and notice, it hasn't been one of those games. A lot of the matches we've seen where you have these kind of gold leads balloon up. This one for game one has not been the case. The most it's gotten is 1.5 for Team Falcons. And now the focus is, what can Smart Omega do with this Lord push? They are going to get that tier 2 up top with the push from Ryzen. And now the next focus, this one will charge in to the tier 2 on bottom. So Smart Omega has gotten a lot that they've wanted. I don't know if Kyle Teasy wants to actually go for this.
He does pop the Puissance, runs into Super Yoshi, but that should be a clear sign to not force anything. They lose their tier 2 in top and bottom. That's permanent damage dealt to Falcons' side of the map.
Like there was a clear difference in opinion as to whether or not Falcon should have gone for that. Kyle Teasy clearly wanted to, but it seems like it was a team call for him to back off. This is significantly better for Omega now because one of the reasons why they have been losing is because, well, Netsky does have no death under his name, but because of how much control Falcons had earlier, especially in the key shrubs leading up to the fights, Netsky just couldn't find a comfortable position to fight very well. Now that it's Omega setting the tempo and getting into the aggressive shrub in the map, that means Netsky can be happy and say, okay, it's my time to shine. Ryzen hasn't died yet as well, so now Falcons, how they've been playing the game so far, needs to change. Because even a well-timed shadow kill by Ryzen can whittle down Kyle Teasy and Ogwin faster than you can say, let's fight this.
This is where we see Team Falcons go for the adjustment. You know, they played their game in the early portion where they secured themselves 3 for 3 in the Turtles. They lost that last Lord, unfortunate to them, by James securing it. So now I feel like they're kind of recalibrating. Like, how do we approach this next objective coming up in about 15 seconds? We got to secure our buffs. You can also see, too, he's changed it up a little bit, right? He's not going to hold on to the bravest fighter, at least for now. I'm not sure if he changes it before the fight out, but he's holding on to the Cho ultimate, that way of the dragon. So maybe one of the ideas here, the concepts for Team Falcon, is to maybe go for a pick-off, or it's just to peel. The big thing that we mentioned with the Badang 2 is that it does mess up the flow of the team fight for Smart Omega. And if you miss that mark, if you miss that setup or that interruption, that's where things seem to take the back door on this, or the back front of this. So again, for Team Falcons, they're going to spot this out. Know they can contest this here.
I wonder if they're going to blitz. Kyle Teasy goes in for the roll. Flap Teasy comes in. Flicker, final slash. Lord still sitting at a third of his health. Down force by Netsky. They force it out. James flickering back. And the Puissance by Kyle Teasy. Lord at a 10th of its health. That's a flicker spent once more. And look at the damage now by Haji. Haji secures the Lord. A kick plus a combo from Omega. They're wiping out the Falcons, clipping them wing by wing. And it's just Ogwin left. Omega from out of nowhere.
It was a disaster for Team Falcons. It looked like they got their wings clipped in that one.
It already looks so good, but they could not check the low Yi. Haji got the damage, and Omega might end it.
And they're already inside the base. Ogwin falls. It's a wipeout with 1 minion. Smart Omega takes game 1.
In one team fight after another, Smart Omega comes out with a win over Team Falcons.
Two